I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBM, we're diving into a powerful book, a wonderful book. It is called The Stable Boy, and it is written by a terrific author. His name is John Neubert. The book is a groundbreaking LGBT themed historical fiction that blends romance, resilience, and history. This unforgettable novel tells the tender love story between a slave and his owner's son, while chronicling a remarkable rags to riches journey from cotton fields to incredible wealth. Touching, powerful, and eye opening, The Stable Boy is a story of love, triumph, and defiance against the injustices of the antebellum South. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him on TV today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. John, thank you so much for joining me here today.
I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you for having me.
Pleased to have you on the show. You did a great job with this book. What inspired you to write this novel?
That's a very good question. A lot of people ask me that. And I don't have a really concrete answer, except that as someone who loves history, I
Mhm.
felt that the depiction of the institution of slavery was kind of rosy colored and not given the horrific what's the word coverage it should have. I
Mhm.
mean, it was horrific, it was terrible, it was dehumanizing, it was
Yeah.
painful, and it was not only taking away their labor, the slaves' labor, but their psyche. They were told that they were less than human. They
Yeah.
were dehumanized, and all of that should have been put into more of the spotlight
Yeah.
as it was reported over the years. So I thought my book might just point that out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, Relationships between slaves and owners or owners' children obviously were verboten back in that era, particularly a homosexual relationship. So it's very, very powerful indeed because this person wanted to embrace their identity and show true rebellion and true defiance, right?
Yes, that's correct. The two main characters, William, who was the slave, and Thomas, who was the owner's son, who was going to inherit $1 million cotton plantation, fell in love with each other, but not just because they were physically attracted to each other, but because they were intellectually attracted to each other. They saw each other as decent human beings, kind, loving, sharing, and religious and spiritual. There's a lot of spirituality in my book as well.
Mm. Absolutely. Absolutely. The story takes readers from rural fields to major cities. Talk to us about that journey and why it was important.
Well, after the Civil War, the major character, William, inherited some money. So he decided he would invest it, and he found a Model T or a horseless carriage somewhere in a museum, and realized, because he was a hidden genius, that the future of transportation in America was going to be the automobile. And he didn't want to invest in the automobile because he didn't know which company would be successful. He decided he would invest in the fuel, and he found an oil company, and he found someone who was starting an oil company, changing oil to gasoline, and he invested his inheritance in it. He inherited some money from a doctor that he worked for, who was rented to, back in the days when he was a slave. He and this doctor, incidentally, I don't want to give the whole plot away, but
Yeah, don't give
moved
too
to
much
New
away.
Orleans, and where he reunited with his lover because they both thought each other were dead because of the war. They
Mm.
found this idea, and then they went to the and they got a interview with the oil tycoon, invested in his company, and then became very wealthy. But
Mm.
the main character, William, was separated from his mother when he was only 12 years old. He wanted to get back to her. And you asked about cities. He found her in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
and she was not happy with his relationship with his lover, but eventually she came back and around. But he also decided that the best place for him was London, and so that's how actually he. I'm jumping my head here. He and his lover created a cotton reselling company. They did that to help the poor freed slaves who were being cheated by the local cotton buyers, and they started their own company. And he needed to sell that cotton, so he went to London. And he found London to be wonderful because they treated him equally with whites.
Mm.
So
Amazing.
eventually he became wealthy, not only because of the oil investment, but also because of the cotton business that he started.
Yeah. What message do you hope readers take away from this rags to riches story arc?
Two things, actually. One, that gay people are often described as the slime of the earth, hated by God, going to hell and going to suffer eternity in the fires of hell. But my book shows that these people were kind, loving, caring about others, and decent and wonderful human beings. And that's one of the areas that I wanted to bring forward. The other is the importance of language. If that Pygmalion kind of thing. Pygmalion is the play on which the movie My Fair Lady was based, where William, as a slave, could speak as an educated gentleman, and it raised him in echelons up in the eyes of society. So he was both a genius, which kind of nullified the white nationalist idea of being that slaves or Negroes were less intelligent, which is a total fallacy, and that's what I wanted to bring out.
Yeah. Well, you did a great job of addressing a lot of, you know, aspects of society that needed to be changed, that were very, very wrongful, very, very hurtful, of course. Did this relationship parallel any relationships in real life that you found out about during your research?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I was going to
I
say
don't.
it's obviously so forbidden. Even interracial relationships in that era were so forbidden, right?
Absolutely, and it's amazing that these two managed not only to be successful, but to be together and loving for a long period of time.
Yeah. Have you envisioned The Stable Boy as a film?
Yeah, I think it would make a
Yeah.
wonderful film.
Agreed. Agreed. It's got great characters, great locations, a great era to explore, and of course, the wonderful relationship to be explored as well. What do you hope readers take away from the book after they turn that last page?
The feedback I got is all very favorable.
Hmm?
They say it was a page turner. They loved reading it. I had one person tell me he read it in one sitting because he
Wow.
couldn't put it down.
Wow.
Another one who read it once and said it was so good he wanted to read it again because he enjoyed reading it. But they both agree, as you said earlier, that it did show the fact that gay people were not the low life people that they're sometimes depicted as, and that Black people have been cheated not only of their wealth, but of their psyche, and they're told that they were less than human, and they weren't. They are better than us.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Talk to us a little bit about your writing career. Is this your first time writing a book?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, you've done great with your debut novel. Working on anything else now?
Yes, because a number of people who said they liked the book so much imposed upon me to write a sequel. So I'm writing a sequel right now.
Wonderful. And where do you think the sequel will take us?
Well, it's going to start with London because that's where the main character wanted to be. But he goes back to Georgia and
Mm.
he and he gets even with the people who harmed him in the first book. Because if you read the book, it ends rather tragically.
Yeah.
And one of the main characters does not survive. Well, he goes back and he bankrupts all of the in the sequel. He bankrupts all of the people who destroyed the cotton business he had, and he gets them all indicted for murder, which is something unheard of in those days.
Yeah.
And it also involves Confederate gold, because they find a way to recover that. And then they wanted to use that Confederate gold for good things, to make hospitals and shelters for people who are both poor and sick.
Well, it sounds like
So
the sequel is going. Yeah, that sounds great. It sounds like the sequel is going to be just as fascinating as the original book. So good luck with that. Looking forward to talking to you about that book when it's ready. The book we've been focusing on today is called The Stable Boy. It is written by John Neubert. It is a touching and powerful story of love, triumph, and resilience in the American South. John, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure having you on the show. I appreciate your hard work on this book and your great insight to the folks at home. I'm Logan Crawford for the Global Book Network. So long for now.